After last season's magical run to the round of 32 in March Madness, the Ohio men's basketball team got started on a positive note in the 2021-22 basketball season with a statement 92-80 win over fellow mid-major powerhouse Belmont. Some familiar faces came to play once again, as Ben Vanderplas had a loud 19 points as he got the crowd into the game early and often at a rocking convo.
Ben Vanderplas has been the center of attention for the Bobcats throughout most of the offseason, but tonight it was two other guys who stole the show, Mark Sears and Jason Carter. Sears, stepping in the place of former point guard Jason Preston, had big shoes to fill, and he filled them tonight, while Jason Carter had a double-double on his return to Ohio after his transfer to Xavier.
I ain't gonna lie, it felt really good. I mean, nerves got to me a little at the beginning. It was just like, kind of like, wow, this actually happened. Like, I never would have thought I'd be in this position, you know, entering my college career, 6 years, transferred and then transferred back. So, you know, it was just a good feeling, and it was really fun to play with those guys tonight.
Despite what Carter might have said about some early jitters, he was absolutely lights out in his return to Athens. Playing 33 minutes in his return, he shot 8 of 18 from the field and drained 4 threes while also snagging 10 rebounds to make it a double-double. He went down with some cramps late in the game, but he and Coach Bowles confirmed it was just a minor issue and nothing more. Despite Carter's gargantuan effort in his first game back, he in competition right on him for MVP of this one. Mark Sears went off in his first game, replacing now LA Clipper Jason Preston, as the sophomore racked up 27 points and 4 assists on 10 of 11 shooting and went 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. Sears outdueled one of the better point guards in the country in Grayson Murphy for Belmont, and he talked about the mindset he had heading into that matchup.
I didn't really look into that. I just, like I said, stick to coach's game plan, and I watch film on him to see what he likes to do and what he doesn't like to do.
Sears and Carter showed out, and the Bobcats looked scary in their first game back since that magical March run. This team looks like it has all the makings to run it back. Reporting for WEB Bobcat Showcase, I'm Ethan Sargeant.
Bobcats are patient right now. They're waiting for the moment. Will it come here in this passage of play? Here's Kalika. Into the feet of Regan Berg. Now it's Carson Prigg. Deering. Lovely pass. There's Berg. She thinks it in. Robertson!
And
what a
goal.
beautiful sequence of play from the Bobcats. That is absolutely beautiful. That is soccer how it should be played. The ball spreading all around the field. The Bobcats held the ball there for, what do you say, a minute and a half straight there. They just poked and prodded the Eastern Michigan defense. Eventually, lovely build-up play from Campanella and Serena Deering. They were able to combine, and then it found its way to...
Now we head over to Racine, where reporter Ethan Sargeant was on the scene for Waterford at Southern while it went down tonight.
Nick, it's set up to be a hard-fought battle between two TVC hawking foes, but this one ended up being a foregone conclusion. It was Military Appreciation Day in Racine for this battle of 3-2 squads. The Wildcats got the party started early on as Holden Daly powered it in, 6-0 Wildcats early on. Daly makes it 2 touchdowns on the night with this one from 41 yards out. Check out this stiff arm, that's a mean one. The missed extra point afterwards keeps it at 12-0. The defense also wanted in on the fun as they made up for those missed PATs with a safety to make it 14-0 Wildcats. It would go from bad to worse for the Tornadoes as their offense continued to sputter. The rout was on in the second quarter as Jacob Pantelides takes a Wildcat snap to the crib to extend the lead to 27. Then, after a pick by the D, Jacob Huffman makes a candidate for catch of the year as he somehow corrals this ball from between his legs, taking football to a whole new level there as Waterford would roll into the break up 41-7. Final score, 55-0 Wildcats.
Wow, the Wildcats sure turned it up today. Who were the stars of the show?
Nick, the stars for the Wildcats was 100% Holden Daly. He dominated again tonight. Daly could do literally everything for the Wildcats. He's a powerful runner that always racks up yards after first contact and is a threat every time he touches the ball. He scored the first 2 touchdowns for the Wildcats and looked likely to score on almost every carry. And remember how I said he could do it all? He was the tackler on Waterford's early safety. He looked absolutely unstoppable tonight.
And I can't help but notice that 0 on the scoreboard for the Tornadoes. How about that Wildcat defense?
Nick, let me tell you, that Waterford defense looked like a pack of hungry dogs out there tonight, and they devoured the Tornadoes. Southern quarterback Josiah Smith barely had time to breathe on any given play, as the Wildcat front generated tons of pressure and tossed him around as the night progressed. They also came up with a safety and an interception that led to a touchdown.
On the other side, what happened to the Southern offense?
Nick, just too many costly mistakes. They had limited momentum all game long and were playing from behind the chains on almost every drive. Penalties killed some promising drives, and a couple of drops and other mistakes didn't help either. Paired with the stellar play of the Water defense, all in all, it was a night to forget for the Southern offense. Waterford heads to Shenandoah next week, while Southern travels to Manchester to try and right the ship next Friday.
Thanks for the great report, Ethan.
Hello again, I'm Ethan Sargeant with sports. Ohio football got its statement win in the Battle of the Bricks in what has been a tough season to date. The Bobcats have had trouble closing out games, and last night seemed like might be more of the same. After racing out to a 28-0 lead early in the third quarter, the Miami Redhawks found life on offense. Quarterback Brett Gabbert threw for almost 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, and receiver Jack Sorensen had 283 yards and 2 scores, as the Redhawks inched to within 2 in the fourth. But after recovering an onside kick, DeMontre Tuggle scored his 3rd touchdown of the night to ice an eventual 35-33 victory for the Cats.
It's been a tough season as far as especially in MAC play. It just felt good to win a close one and to do it against this team. You know, it's a lot of our first time getting a mug, so you know it was a great experience for us, and do it in the fashion we did was a nice.
The Bobcats have a rematch with Kent State on neutral ground after their dramatic draw at Chesapeake last weekend. Ohio travels up to Bowling Green for the MAC tournament, which is hosted by the #1 seed, which belongs to the Falcons. The Bobcats and Golden Flashes faced off just 6 days ago and ended in a scoreless draw. Both teams had great chances to score and win the game, but neither were able to get the finishing touch on a win that would have given them the #1 overall seed. Senior Paige Noor was named MAC Defensive Player of the Week today after her heroics in the Kent State game, as the Bobcat defense recorded yet another shutout, as Madison Clayton and Haley Miller both came inches away from potentially hosting the MAC tournament here in Athens. The game is set for 7 p.m. tomorrow. Keep an eye on WEB Bobcat Showcase on social media and WEB.org for updates throughout that game and for post-game content. An Ohio men's basketball player is receiving some preseason awards after his heroics in the MAC tournament and the NCAA tournament. Ben Vanderplas has been named to the preseason All-MAC first team. He averaged 12.8 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.8 assists as he helped the Bobcats to a MAC title. He also scored 17 points in Ohio's upset over Virginia in the NCAA tournament. Joining him in the preseason awards is Jason Carter, who was named to the All-MAC second team. Carter transferred back to Ohio after a stint at Xavier, where he averaged 5.5 points and 6 rebounds a game in 2021. The MAC coaches poll has Ohio as one of the better teams in the conference after winning the MAC tournament last year. The Bobcats come in at second in the preseason coaches poll. Buffalo is the overwhelming favorite to win the conference with 11 first-place votes. The Bulls are the only team with 2 players on the preseason All-MAC first team, Josh Mbala and Gianthon Williams. Toledo also received a first-place vote after winning the MAC regular season title. They return reigning MAC Freshman of the Year Ryan Rollins. Atlanta is the city of champions once again as the Braves have won their first World Series since 1995. Atlanta was able to close it out in Game 6 last night thanks to a 7-0 beatdown of the Houston Astros. Jorge Soler is your World Series MVP after batting .300 with 3 home runs, including an absolute monster shot last night that jump-started the Braves' offense. Max Fried pitched 6 innings of scoreless baseball, and the bullpen kept the normally dynamic Astros offense quiet. The Braves win it all after losing one of their superstars, Ronald Acuna Jr., to injury in July. Nick, I know you're a huge Braves guy. What did that win mean to you?
Gotta get my Braves hat on for that segment. That was awesome. Been watching that celebration video nonstop today. Thanks for bringing it. News Watch tonight.
Must be so good to see your team win. I can't imagine.
Yeah, wait a lifetime for this. Now over to Aaron with the weather.
After suffering their first MAC loss of the season, the Ohio women's soccer team has to bounce back quickly as Kent State comes to Athens with the #1 overall seed in the playoffs and the MAC regular season title on the line. Hi everyone, I'm Ethan Sargeant. Alongside me is Aiden Crowley. There are 3 teams that could still win the MAC regular season title and get that #1 overall seed. Aiden, what can we look for on Thursday?
Well, Ethan, buckle up because it is going to be a wild ride. Ohio and Kent State are tied at the top of the MAC with 23 points, sharing an identical 7-1-2 record. That makes things pretty simple between the Bobcats and Golden Flashes. Whichever team comes out on top takes home the regular season title and coveted home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Chaos ensues with a tie, however. Bowling Green is within striking distance with a 7-2-1 record, good for 22 points. If there's a tie at Chessa and a Bowling Green win, Bowling Green takes the title. At this point, it's a 3-team race, and I can't wait to see it unfold.
Aiden, the Bobcats had a chance to clinch on Sunday with a game against Central Michigan, but they fell in double overtime by a score of 3-2. Just what went wrong for the Bobcats?
Well, it was an uncharacteristic performance for the Bobcats on Sunday, doubling their goals allowed to 6 on the MAC season. The Bobcats gave up a season-high 3 goals on Sunday. However, it was a hard-fought matchup as both teams traded goals back and forth, leading to a 2-2 tie in regulation. Marie Cashel called game in double overtime to upset the Bobcats.
Let's take a quick look at Thursday's opponent, Kent State. What can we expect to see from the Golden Flashes?
Well, they're both tied at the top of the MAC, so this is going to be one of the most formidable matchups the Bobcats have had all season. 2 players for the Golden Flashes have been putting up huge numbers, Cameron Shedenhelm and Carly Hellstrom. Shedenhelm is tied for the most goals in the MAC with 10 and has 4 assists to go along with it, while Hellstrom leads the MAC with 10 assists and 4 goals as well. The last time these two faced off, Ohio took the win at Chessa with a 1-0 victory, with the winning goal scored by Abby Townsend.
Wow, Aiden, it all comes down to Thursday. Keep your eyes peeled for updates throughout the game and post-game content here at WOEB Bobcat Showcase and on WOEB.org. Alongside Aiden Crowley, I'm Ethan Sargeant.